So
Okay.
yeah, Swift. So what do you think dating culture today is different from when we were younger?
So I don't think it's changed at all. I think what's changed is mentalities about dating, right? The dating game is still the same. People enjoy going out and getting to know one another more and get closer to one another, right? Personally, to see if the relationship will expand. But I would
Mm-hmm.
say the biggest obstacle that we have now would be um the phone, man. It's the phone. So like what I mean by the phone, not just like, I wouldn't even blame social media. I really wouldn't. I would blame more that people, instead of having social skills like back in the day, everybody now, they're better texters than they are verbally speaking.
Mm. So you
Right?
think like things is more like a fast pace cut off from reality?
Yeah, like some people don't know how to express themselves verbally, but they can text you easily. You get what I'm saying? Like they don't,
Mm.
like social skills is where I would kind of put that under in a category like they, maybe being shy or etc. But the dating scene is still the same, right? In my opinion. I don't
Yeah.
know, like, what would you agree to disagree? Would you?
No, I agree. I agree. The
Okay.
dating scene is completely different. Completely different from what it was. Like people are more like disconnected with the social media.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, I definitely agree with that. Like we're kind of out of touch from reality.
Okay. Okay. I agree with that. I agree with that. Totally. Do you think it's
Yeah,
for a
no, because I was gonna ask with that social media. So do you think is social media has made it easier or harder in dating, and why?
I think it's made it easier because you have the ability to reach out to more people, but it's made it more difficult in the sense of people are more jealous and more insecure than ever before.
Okay, okay.
You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
feel that way? Like people
That's
are a little bit more insecure and feel more jealous than back in the day?
yeah, because I feel like social media gives you it makes you feel paint a false narrative. So
Okay.
people are not trying to build real relationships. They're more of just you know what I mean? Just they're hiding behind a camera or behind a phone, like you say, texting.
Mm-hmm.
And guys,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just popped into this, but what if like always? What if that was always there, but social media is making it more present? Like what if people have always had a present, like a jealous spirit? And the first point of accountability for you on the outside is being able to see it on social media. But what if people have always been like that?
That's a good
That could be
one.
the case. That
So
could be
she's
the
saying like,
case.
what if that? Okay. So you feel like people being cut like withdrawn or just timid in dating? Because I feel like the average man dating won't just go up to a girl and talk, but you will message someone easily on social media. How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna let CEO expound first. Let's get the woman's point of view.
Got you.
Hmm.
You know, it would be interesting to hear a man speak about this because, like, ideally, there are women out there, and there are women who are on this whole, like, get down on one knee, make the first move, but they are outside of tradition. And although that is a thing, that is a heavy thing right now, right? Because I think that women are being led into, women are always going to kind of mimic what men lead them into. So a lot, there's a heavy um influx of women like kind of imitating mimicking like masculinity.
Okay.
So
Yes.
they're like women who are very profoundly like aggressive right now. They are the ones who are, and you know, to a degree, there's always, even biblically speaking, we can go back and there's going to be like examples of women biblically being like this, but it's
Absolutely.
outside the norm now. Especially if you're, I don't know what state you're in. We're in Georgia, so Georgia, whatever, women are mimicking men, and
Mhm.
they're not only are they trying to mimic men, they're competing with men.
Mm.
Okay.
And to a degree, like if you put too many women in a space where women have to mimic men, and there's not a male presence, and women have to mimic masculinity, they will. I say this appropriately. They will supersede masculinity,
Mm.
and they will outdo masculinity or whatever. Because if you have a woman in her own, and she's left with in her own, she doesn't have children, she doesn't have a man, she's left by herself. She will far supersede masculinity. She will supersede a
Yes.
man.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, right? I'm just speaking very plainly, because women outdo men in education, they outdo men in businesses, so on and so forth. We can speak about all
Lifespan.
that, right? Lifespan, all those things,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. But nonetheless, when you have that happen and women are trying to mimic masculinity, we do I don't want to say unusual things happens, because right now it's the norm, but we will get in these spaces to where like men don't need to exist. So I really want to hear a man's standpoint on that, because like
Okay.
women will get in these spaces to where like it will almost seem like a man isn't necessary. Masculinity isn't necessary, because women will get in, and when we do what we're supposed to do. We take over, like we like expand, not necessarily take over, but we expand,
Okay. Okay.
because that's the role of a woman. We expand. So when you leave a woman by herself and she's outside of her counterpoint, and she's outside of her partnership, she expands. And when she does that by herself, you have a lot of what you see today. So it's not necessarily the fault of the woman. She's doing what she's supposed to do, but she's in a role that should be like she should have like a partnership. And when she doesn't have that, it's still like she's exceeding the norm, because that's what she's supposed to do as a family, for a family, but she's not in that role. So she's still doing that, but she's doing that in the solo aspect.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
a good way to put it. Cause Swift, I remember when me and you had a live,
Uh-huh.
and then we talked. You gave me an example about approaching the girl at the store, and so
Sure.
it is real good hearing this point of view from point of a woman. Do you think there you both? And this question is for both of you guys. Do you think there's a reason for that? Do you think there's an agenda to push women to be more masculine? Look like the reason why I say that, like, look at welfare, right? Certain government programs you can't get if there's a man in the house. Like
Hmm.
there was a big thing where I feel like entertainment kind of painted a false perception where
Hmm.
it gave women the idea that okay, this is the type of woman a man wants, vice versa. It
Hmm.
makes the average 9 to 5 working dude thinks, okay, this is the type of guy you got to be to get this type of girl. So, do you guys think there's an agenda on that, or you think that's just how it's just been over time?
I'm gonna let him answer and then I'll follow up.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think there's an agenda, to be honest with you. I think the pushback is coming like men in general were cheap, right? We like to save when we can. If you're the breadwinner, a lot of men will wait. They'll wait for the woman to ask for them to give. Like, women need hygienical things more than we do. They need, right? They go through a menstrual period. They go through I can't say it right. Interior apparel more than us men do, and women don't like to have to ask the man for, like, if that's your wife or your fiance, like, let it come out of your heart. Like, here's the, like, here's my card, or here's my, you know what I'm saying, here's the resources for you to go and buy these things. And it puts women in a position where they're like, bro, do I need to really ask you for this? Like, you know, you should know. But us being men, we're cheap by nature. We try to save, we try to do this. So we look at it as being kind of masculine. I don't see it as masculine. I also, this is gonna, uh you can hear me, right, Merv?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. This is gonna sound weird, right? But like, I've been with a lot of women that are like super submissive, and it kind of drew me away. Like, I kind of do like a little pushback sometimes, and for her to stand her ground, and for her to show, you know, practice
Mm.
dominance, and not dominance, but like stand on, like stand on your belief. Like, it's okay, I'm your husband or your boyfriend, fiance, whatever. Like, it's okay to get a little uh um a little feisty
But
sometimes. Like,
before CEO Social I answer, Swift, I'm
okay,
gonna I would have to disagree with that because I
okay,
think there's a difference between submissive and having your own opinion. Like, if
okay,
you're a God fearing woman and you're going by scripture, you're gonna know that, okay, my husband is the head of the household and I'm gonna trust him to lead. That doesn't mean that if he says jump off a bridge, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
sure,
That doesn't mean that I can't have my own opinion, but it's just that, hey, I'm trusting, because I feel like we weren't created equal. We have different roles, right? Like the man, we're stronger for a reason. We're supposed to be protectors.
sure,
So I
sure.
feel like, yeah, that's why I said I disagree with that. I don't feel like submissive would mean that everything I say goes. No,
Well,
it
that's
just
what I'm
means that, hey,
saying. But that's
trust
what I'm
me to be
saying.
your protector. You trust me to lead.
No,
You know what I mean?
no,
And I feel like a lot of that's one of the main problems with dating nowadays. They're getting that line. There's a fine line between what men and women think submissive is, and okay, you're supposed to do this. But I'm
no,
gonna
no. See, but
fall back to the
Mervin,
CEO social life first.
hold on, Mervin. I feel like it was, you might have interpreted it wrong. I'm saying, I don't, I'm not a fan of the okay, this is me personal. I'm not a fan too much of the submissiveness. Like, I kind of want you to push back a little. I want that. If I'm with somebody that is too submissive, I feel like I run them over, and it kind of pushes me away. Like, I like a little bit
You
of the
don't think maybe
pushback.
you're not ready?
I think that not to interrupt you, I think that both of you guys are agreeing with each other. I think that in totality, both of you guys are agreeing with each other. You said that you don't like a woman to be ultra submissive. And he was saying that he doesn't want a woman to just listen to him to the point of she will
Hmm.
jump off of a bridge. So that's
Hmm.
where both of you guys are agreeing with each other, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
And I want to come in as a woman, as the only estrogen in the conversation, to say that in biblical standpoints, they wanted women to be to a fault as a follower to their husbands, right?
Hmm.
And here we are in a modern take where men are saying like, I want you to have your own mindset. Even if I'm speaking as a person, I want you to go against what I'm saying, because there's a little bit of what both of you are saying. Both of you are saying that regardless of what I say, I want some feedback from you. I want you to come against what I'm saying. I want you
Hmm.
to have your own mind. What both of you are ultimately saying is that I want somebody to have their own mind. I want someone to go against what I'm saying if it doesn't align with their beliefs. And I want feedback from someone, right? So
Yeah.
whereas that ultimately goes against what's happened, goes totally against what's happening in Afghanistan right now. It goes against what is happening in biblical standpoints, against traditional norms, whereas men are supposed to be the leaders of the household. So if a leader is leading, there is not somebody who's supposed to stand against the leader, because if you are the leader in a household, and there's a household where you are the head of the household. I'm someone who is the maternal figure. You're the paternal figure. You're the patriarch. So I am the female leader in that in the matriarch in the patriarch that is this household. We have children. You are saying you want somebody to stand against that. That is standing against tradition. That is standing against biblical standpoints. That's standing against a lot of what history has brought us to, right?
Mm.
And naturally, two men are agreeing with each other on this podcast to say that we want someone to stand up and stand against that, right? So with that being said, you guys want someone that's what naturally you're attracted to, because one of you all are a husband, the other one of you are talking from a point of like attractiveness, still seeking out a is he married?
No, and
Yes,
I
yes,
didn't
I am
agree with
legally
his point as
married.
far as one.
No, there's
Yeah, I'm sorry.
there's
Yes,
no
he is.
agreement or there's nothing wrong. You guys haven't said anything wrong. I'm just restating what you've said so far. Have I said anything wrong? I
No,
want
no,
you
no,
guys to be
no.
able to speak for
Yes,
yourself.
no, you have not. You're dissecting what we said and breaking it down.
Fair enough, right? Is everyone comfortable so far?
As far as
Yes.
the pushback,
Mhm.
no, because I don't agree with the pushback thing. But yeah, go ahead.
What do you mean?
So as far as when you said like I agree, because what from what I'm getting from what Swift is saying, you saying you like a little pushback, right? You don't want your woman to do
Yes,
everything
yes.
that you tell her. But
No,
why
not
would
that
you
I.
want that if you're
Okay,
leading
okay.
correctly?
No, not that what I
Because
tell her. Like, I'll give you an example. This happened to me in my personal marriage, right? Can you hear me?
yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. In my personal marriage, right?
I don't want to
I,
stop you, but you said personal, so that I, as a new person onto this, I'm new here. You
Mhm.
said personal marriage, so you're not currently married.
No, I'm still legally married, but we're not engaging.
You guys are separated.
Yes, but we're not legally
Okay. So
divorced.
legally married, separated, but not. Are you guys in the process of a divorce? Or are you trying to amicably like work things out?
Um, no, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say no,
Okay,
and
so you guys are working towards a legal separation.
we are not. We are not. Um,
Okay. I just want
mhm.
to understanding. Fair
It's
enough.
okay. It's a little complicated for us to get divorced in the sense of right. It's in the marriage is in a different country, and if we were to go and try to legally get married, the country in which we're married, it wouldn't approve the divorce. There's got to be like cheating and proof of it being cheating. Like I've been adultery has been committed or that I'm right. Hello.
Yeah,
No, we're here.
we're here. We're hearing you.
Okay. Or that I'm like there's an abuse or something going on within which there's not.
Are
So
you
there wouldn't.
comfortable with stating the country?
Say that again.
Are you comfortable with stating the country?
Yes, I am. It's in Colombia.
Okay, fair enough.
Mhm,
Fair enough. Fair
mhm,
enough. Fair enough.
mhm.
I have a ton of friends who are from Colombia, but Colombia Americanized, like first generation American. So I understand.
So it would be hard for us to legally get married because what we have for evidence, if we were to try to show the judge would deny it. There's nothing
Okay.
there's nothing that the judicial system would find appropriate for the judge to approve the divorce.
Okay. I have
Mhm,
friends who are in the United States from Colombia and or friends who are in the United States from Colombia or who are first generation from Colombian parents.
mhm,
So I get an understanding of what you're saying.
mhm,
Um, and I also understand the temperament of those friends who
mhm,
will rather work things out until, but they will come to a standpoint where they say, enough, let's work towards an end result.
mhm,
After me, whereas Americans, maybe we cut things, it's a hard stop. maybe Colombians will try to work past or resolve, even if it's amicably like being separated.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
I understand where you're coming from with that. And I understand like the Colombians. I have a coworker who is second generation Colombian, and yeah, it's a unique situation. So I understand.
Yeah, it's complicated for us to do it legally. I have no hatred towards her. I have nothing against her. We would still be able to talk right now as responsible adults. You know, nothing of that nature.
Now, where you're listening, and you
Oh,
were
okay.
making a point before she asked you that question too. Don't forget your point that you were trying to make, because I
Okay.
got more questions.
So like this is this is kind of something that I would say like what I mean by the submissiveness, right? If I want it, and I get like this is why I feel like I got called more into the religion or spirituality or God, well, you know, however you want to break it down, because I'm a type of person that she got everything she wanted. I don't care to support the household. I'll pay, but I'll get reckless. Like I'll go out on Friday and come back on Sunday,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, and
And this
she
is for
wouldn't.
someone who is a Colombian citizen.
I have a dual citizenship, so I have two. I have a
No,
double
her,
pass.
her. Where
Yes,
her
she
citizenship.
she has no U.S. citizenship. She only has the Colombian.
So she's
She can't.
100% Colombian.
100%.
So, not to cut you off, I want you to continue speaking, but I want those who are listening to understand that a Colombian citizen is 100% different from an American citizen. So, when we talk about, and Colombia is going to be nicer than your Tulum, your Cancun, all of that above, right? If you
Yes.
are within the city, like there are people who, have family members who are a part of the military or part of the police force. And
Hmm.
it's a beautiful experience to live a part of that, right? But those women would rather stay married to someone who cheats on them. If so, them, if someone is XYZ, whatever you paint into that picture, a Colombian citizen would rather stay married to their Colombian nationalist husband versus getting a divorce. And she would rather allow him to cheat, have an open marriage, do whatever he
Yes.
feels stand for than getting a divorce. It is not like an American situation to
No.
where a woman would feel uncomfortable and automatically
Hmm.
get a divorce. So you want to think
Exactly.
about someone who's been subjugated to that norm. You want to think about someone who has had a mother, a grandmother, a great grandmother who would rather tell her, hey, stay in this marriage. He's not so bad. That is the experience of a Colombian nationalist. Not to cut you off, because I want you to continue to speak.
Hmm.
Because I want you to also talk about your experience as being the husband, because it might counterfeit what I'm saying. But nonetheless, a Colombian woman who's married to an American man, especially if she gets dual citizenship, not only do you get to experience all those things, hey, now that's the Colombian side of it. The Colombian side of it is he's going to do what he's going to do. Maybe he's physically abusive, maybe he's not. Maybe
Hmm.
he is allowing me to do anything. I want to also speak to you that Colombian women are not allowed to have open marriages on their side, but the man is. So I want you to draw your own point of dissertation to understand what you would assume this marriage feels like for a woman. For a man, it feels like you are allowed an open marriage.
Hmm.
You are allowed to come and go as you please. You
Hmm.
are allowed to do as you see fit. Because I want to also be honest with you. The man is going to be the provider. That woman can work hard. She
Mervin,
will.
mute. Mervin,
She
mute.
will contribute. She will. Sorry.
Is I guess you're working now.
Mervin,
Yeah,
Mervin,
my
Mervin, you
bad.
mute. Hmm.
Is your stuff is working now, so you can talk.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and use the bathroom. Give me 1 second. Yeah,
Yeah.
continue, CEO.
I want to just to allow you guys to understand that the Colombian man, he will be the reason that they have land. He will be the reason that they have the animals on the farm to farmstead. He will be the reason. So understand, dot comes after that is the woman. She will contribute. She will help with the physical labor. She will help with things. But as far as like, I want you to think about like in a traditional sense, back in the day. Back in the day, XYZ happened and this person was a contributor. She is a contributor, but she's not the forthright in why this happened. The man is still the forthright in why this happened. Her husband is still the reason why this happened. So, but she will still be a physical labor contributor. She will still help with the day-to-day aspects and things. Um, so I want you to think about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
So I
perfectly.
can't hear you all.
Perfectly.
I can't hear you all. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna set the mute.
Can
Okay.
you hear me?
So saying all that as a standpoint, because it's important for people to understand that the woman is a massive contributor. She's also very lenient in what her husband has to do for her to feel satisfied. Whereas as an American woman, there are some American women who are interested in open relationships. The Colombian woman automatically, she doesn't even have a standpoint. She doesn't have a say so. If he wants an open marriage, he gets that.
Okay. So don't forget your point, because I'm gonna keep this under an hour. But go ahead and emphasize on your point now that she broke down the
So,
Colombian
so,
woman. Give us your stand. Give us your
so,
point of view.
so exactly, like, and it's true, right? Like, I had three rules given to me, right? And it's, don't come home with an STD, don't come home telling me that you got another girl pregnant, and don't be like tricking, right? Don't be like, you know what I'm saying? If it's for cool. There was no issues. Um,
So that's a normal thing.
it is normal. They're
I'm just
gonna
gonna get people.
they're
Don't keep
gonna
answering.
how can I put this, man? Like, to be a, like, I don't even, like, for internet purposes, right? Because I don't look, like it's I feel like it's wrongdoing because you shouldn't be that way, right? But it's that way. And um it brings conflict because it's too it's too it's too wide open, right? Like I told you, I would leave Friday and I would come back Sunday.
Mhm.
I would
So let me ask you this though.
I
Mhm.
would.
No, sorry. Finish. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah.
you know what
No,
I'm
finish.
saying?
Finish. Please.
So I would, I could go and smoke, I'd be smoking, drinking, partying, doing. She knows what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm the type of person that I kind of need order. I need order. Like, if it's too free willy like that, I get reckless. Like, unfortunately, like, listen, I'm not perfect. Like, I'm weak in flesh, so I like to indulge in pleasure, not so much physically but like, maybe drinking or partying. In this 2-3 days, I was in mischievous business, right, doing nefarious business, which kind of put her in a position where, like, if I say or do anything to him, like, this will all fall back on me. They're not going to do anything to him because he can, you got to remember, this is one of the most corrupt places in the world. So, like, if I needed something to get done, or I wanted to do something, I can pay the authorities to leave me alone, and I'm doing something. This is about to happen. We're about to make this happen, and everything is green lighted. It's a free for all.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it
All
gets
right. So I got
complicated.
another. So I got another question for y'all. What qualities do you think people should look for in a healthy relationship when they're dating?
The household. Where did you go? How was your upbringing? Everything comes from the core, right? Like, Were you raised with a mother and father? Were you raised with with religious upbringing, right? Were you guys Catholic, Christian, a Buddhist, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Any religious upbringing. Um these things I feel like are essential to see what you're going to be dealing with, right? In
Did
in
you get to something
Mhm,
with your marriage?
mhm.
Were those importances with your marriage?
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
Were those things of importance with your marriage?
They were in accordance to the T. My wife is comes from a right mother and father
I can't
household.
hear you guys.
She came from a mother and father household. She's a good woman in all aspects of humanity. But I'm the mess up here. But I feel like, how can I put this? Like, that's why I kind of feel like you should almost stick with your own. You get what I'm saying? Like, because when you stick to your own, it's more compatible. Like, in the sense of like, if you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, like it's more compatible. I was doing things that, for example, I'm gonna come back to what CEO was talking about the masculinity. When I would go out, she would be like, "But why do you gotta wear that? Why do you gotta have this?" And it was, I was sharp. I looked, she was like, "You're doing you like." And almost like a jealousy, like you're more fresh than me, type of thing. You're looking to seek attention to yourself, blasey blasey, and I didn't think that way. I don't have that train. My wife is the type of person that goes to the beach in a G-string. I don't even think about it in my head. Like, I'm just at the beach. Like, she would be like, "Oh, why are you why do you have this necklace on? Why you that like like as if I'm trying to seek attention." But if my wife's somebody that's gone to the gym for more than 10 years. She's like a what's it called? Like she's in the whole fitness thing, dieting, eats very healthy, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything. She don't care if I do, but it was almost like a competition in the sense of like, why do you gotta be like that? Why do you gotta do that? Why do you got that gold chain on? Why do you and it
I
I
love
don't.
that you say that, and I don't want to interrupt you because
Mhm,
I want women to understand right now,
mhm.
no matter women. I want to say this right now, and I'm gonna let him start back talking. So do not forget where you were just at,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I don't care. Listen to what he just said. He said 10. Did you say 10 years of working out?
10 years of work, like her, she is in top tier. And
Perfect,
if
perfect
that's why when
physique.
she wears a
Perfect
G-string,
physique.
so I was like, if you want to
Perfect
wear a
physique. Women,
perfect
I want you to
physique.
understand perfect physique. I want you to
Yes.
understand best of the best,
Hmm.
no matter what you look like, top 1%.
Hmm.
To you, that's that 1%. And there's a part of you that's still like reaching out for your man to give you that approval status. So,
Hmm.
and your man is looking at you like, hey, you look like this. You look like this. You don't need this from me. A woman can be in the 1% and she still wants her man's approval because we are codependent. We are literally partnerships. We're the what is it? If Superman is Superman, what was that guy? What was Superman's like?
Lex Luthor.
No. What was the his
His
no,
kryptonite, the
what was
kryptonite,
okay, super
the
what was
kryptonite.
the other guy or Batman? What was Batman's little sidekick?
Robin.
What
Robin.
so what is Robin considered? What is it considered? A sidekick, right?
Hmm.
Give me a better name, sidekick. Give me a better. Give me the better name, sidekick. What's a better name? a
Um,
codependent or a
I'm gonna
partner.
get your point, yeah, because
No, I don't want you to get my point. Like, give me a better part because I need women to understand this, right?
like your how can I put this?
Instead
Your
of okay, you understand what I just went through with describing that, right? Batman
mm-hmm,
is Batman, right?
mm-hmm,
And even with that, Robin is 10 years of perfect physique, right?
mm-hmm,
And even with that, that's not enough for her to internally understand, like, yo, you the
mm-hmm,
shit. She's still looking for Batman's approval. Robin is still looking for Batman's approval. She done put in 10 years of dedication and she still wants his approval, right? So even with that, that's where we as women come in as the we're the partnership because we should be
mm-hmm,
the partnership. We were literally biblically designed as the partnership, right?
mm-hmm,
I want women to understand right here, right now, is that you need the partnership. Learn to vocalize. I don't know how it is because I think we as women, we want to like put in that 10 years of working out and we want to show up and be like, hey, because we're showing up and we care about you, we want you to understand that like 10 years of dedication comes to you. Women, you have to start speaking up.
mm-hmm,
'Cause, like
mm-hmm,
women do this thing where we're selfless and we don't want to speak up and we want to just be like, hey, we showed up. You see that we did 10 years. And
mm-hmm,
you know what? This shit is for you. This is for you. We're showing up
mm-hmm,
for you. You my man. You my man. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Women,
But the
that's
problem
not
that we
enough because
had
men are right now, they're not seeing that.
the problem we had was
Sorry.
like, so like she would wear a G-string or whatever, right? And like I told you, 10 years in the gym, eat a diet all the week, eating at a certain time, blasey blasey, and how can I put this? I was like, listen, if you worked out for this body and you want to show it off, I didn't care, but that brought me backlash. Like, why don't you care? Why doesn't it? Because I would go and be on my phone and I would be at the bar and I'm going out tonight, and she's like, why don't you care? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I couldn't, and I still don't have an explanation. Like, is she pretty in my? Yes. Did I love it? Sure, but I. This is gonna sound crazy, right? But I kind of didn't care. Like, it
so
didn't wow me. Like, it didn't wow me.
so Swift, I have a question.
Hmm. What's up?
I have
Hmm.
a follow up.
Hmm.
So, because I don't want to get too caught off with the lie, what the lie was supposed to be about. But so why did you marry her?
Because she's a good person, brother. I'm gonna marry somebody, Mervin. In my eyes, I said I'm gonna marry somebody that I want to know that if I leave and I have a child with that person, my child is in good hands. I don't care about it came with beauty, a blessing, but if the baby's at home and I'm out, she's gonna be motherly. I'm gonna go home and the house is gonna smell like fabuloso. I'm gonna have my clothes folded, and I'm not looking for a servant, right? Let me not misconstrue it, because I'm not looking for that. But I want a woman that I find that a beauty within itself. A woman that likes to be a clean. I'm gonna give you context.
Okay.
My wife,
Whenever you guys
P,
come.
my
Yeah.
my wife's pH level was so
Hmm.
high that she never had to put on deodorant or anything. No bad smell would come out of her
And
because.
Swift, also too
Mhm.
Swift. Let's I have a bunch of questions to go to, like three more. So let's keep her
Okay. Oh,
answers
let's.
like
Okay. That's
somewhat.
it. That's it. That was the
So,
answer. That was the answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see you chime in though.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to say this too, and I'm saying this to women because I want to talk to them. Listen to the magnitude. This is the one who her PA can't be that high that she's shooting. It can't be what she's shooting. She's
Hello.
YouTube, etc.
I'm sorry, were you hearing anything she was saying?
No, I didn't hear any. Y'all were on mute. My apologies. Not, I didn't mute
Oh,
y'all,
I
but
sorry.
it
think
was
it's
like,
sorry. But yeah, it's like I want women to understand like what he's saying. This is a woman where he's saying 10 years of dedication to her body. He cannot say her pH is that at that frequency if she's having sex with multiple partners. That's what her dedicated to one partner. That's what her dedicated to one regime. That's what her dedicated to one mindset, right? There's nobody who's doing this level of focus, this level of intake, this level of output if they are changing anything. So this is someone eating the same thing, there's someone who is mentally thinking the same things, there's someone who's dedicated to the same regime, there's someone who's dedicated to the same partner. Sexually, mentally, physically, all everything is the same for ongoing. This isn't a matter of 30 days. This isn't a 90-day regime. This isn't a year regime. This is a woman who's dedicated to the same man ongoing. Not only is she dedicated to the same man, she's dedicated to the same lifestyle ongoing. I need women to understand that no matter what you do, physically, mentally, emotionally, it takes a man to tap into his self to understand that he needs something that like because she's providing everything. She's providing
everything,
everything. Like
everything, 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 everything,
everything. And listen to this man. This is a healthy man.
everything, everything.
He's not anti-woman. He's not
Mm-mm,
going against the woman right
mm-mm,
here, right?
mm-mm,
So she is tapped into that. Her body frequency shows that he's agreeing with her body frequency.
mm-hmm,
What I'm saying is that like this woman is tapped into herself. She's tapped into like her decisions. She's tapped into the frequency of her decisions. So, with that being said, I want women to understand that men need to be in agreement with themselves. No matter what level of effort you put into yourself, men
mm-hmm,
need to understand and be in agreement with the decision. Men have to want to choose you. I don't care
mm-hmm,
what decisions you
mm-hmm,
make, what lifestyle choices. This is a woman. Listen to what he said. I didn't have to say this. He just said she was 10 years into the same decisions
mm-hmm,
and she's been choosing that decision. This is a man saying this on his own,
mm-hmm,
right? On
mm-hmm,
his own, he's been saying that she's been doing this, right? So,
mm-hmm,
women, listen to me. Listen to me. You can choose a man, and to a degree, this is why women are choosing themselves and they're trying to compete with men because this is what's happening. We're showing up for men and we are trying to be there for men consistently, and men are choosing themselves or they're confused. I understand
mm-hmm,
men being confused and whatnot.
mm-hmm,
Women, I hate this. I hate to say this, but you are going to have to keep showing up and choosing before you choose yourself. Because what happens when women choose themselves or whatever?
mm-hmm,
Understand? I understand what we all just heard. He has a
mm-hmm,
woman who has not cheated. She has not done anything wrong.
mm-hmm,
She's not doing anything. It's just her
mm-hmm.
femininity. And Swift, I'm sorry to say this out loud, but she's
Mm-hmm.
not being met with the masculinity that she needs to be met with. There's something that she's
I'm
not,
going
it's
to
not that
admit
she's not doing
something. I'm going to admit something here on the live that's very personal, but this is something that
and
I
you're in a
couldn't.
safe space.
And I'm gonna say I know I am, and I'm willing to say this because I feel I'm in the truth now. I'm in the truth, right? My wife okay. There's been positions where people have DM'd her and be like, "Hey, I'm flying to Medellin. Can I go? I'll pay you 5,000 US to fly you out to let's say Cartagena for the weekend." And I would tell her go, and she would come back and give me the 5 racks. I'm selling my wife. I want the public to know this. I'm selling my wife, and I was just so into the money, and I had other women, so I'm like, okay, go. I'm gonna be in a Airbnb with three, so I didn't care. I don't. And this is let me make this clear. What I'm doing is wrong. It's lustful. It's wrong. I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel fulfilled. When I met my wife, she had a daughter. I put her in a private school. Her teeth were crooked. Let's put braces. I went and told my wife, "What do you want to do? Is facials, laser to get the blemishes off her, whatever." But I what and she was happy in the sense of, wow, what a man, you cater to me. She always said it. I don't have any issue as a man that you are the way you treat me. The problem is that you don't care. Like, I noticed that you don't care about me. I would do these things. A lot of men think, oh, these women, they just want this money. And I gave her all the little goodies and treats that the world has to offer. But she still said, you don't like me. Like, why is it that I would come to the house, take a shower? Like, I'll never forget this. She had a little lingerie that she bought, and I came from the weekend partying and stuff, and she put it on, and I just rolled over and went to sleep. She felt horrible. Like, damn, this isn't. And I was like, you look beautiful, but like, I'm tired. I didn't care. I think about it now, and I'm like, man, I was just in a wrong state of mind. Like, I don't even know how to break that down. Like, it's almost like I was in a
Were you in the
trance,
wrong state
bro,
of mind? Why do you think that you were in the wrong state of mind?
because I was indulging in a lot of money, a lot of power. Like, I sometimes feel like my wife didn't say anything because, like, if I say something, this man could have me killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even
What
want to,
man?
like, me,
Or the
like
men
it,
that you
like
were encouraging her to meet with?
what I was doing, what I was with, how I was operating. Like, if anything happened, it was just a phone call away. It was weird stuff, and it was we had we would correspond with the police as well. We'd pay them. They would turn a blind eye to whatever we needed to get done. There was a lot of shit going on, and her mother would approve of everything. She was like, oh, he's fantastic. And she was like, you don't understand, you don't get it. And she would be like, the mom would be like, but he pays for everything, he's got you in a good position. And she didn't feel fulfilled, and it wasn't. And
So
I
I'm gonna
understand
let.
that. And I understand that because I wasn't giving her support as a husband. I was, in other words, just like, here's this, be happy. And I was off doing other stuff. It's very complicated. I almost feel like somebody's got to kind of be in that scenario to kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. It sounds like, what are you talking about? How could this be? But it's something, and it exists, brother. It exists.
And so I'm gonna chime in for
Hmm.
because I'm listening to both you guys. So
Hmm.
this make because I'm so my thing with marriage, right? I didn't
Hmm.
know I understand marriage fully, but I
Hmm.
always had the fear of God. What that mean? Even when I was single, running around with different women, I
Hmm.
never ever messed with married women because I'll fear God's judgment. I didn't know
Okay.
exactly what it was like. I understand it now, but that's
Hmm.
just one thing that was always wired into me. Don't play
Hmm.
about marriage. Cause that's one. Because Jesus even said it when he was preaching to the Pharisees, it's better to be single than to make a vow in front of God and break it. You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
So
You're right.
the reason why I say all that to you is one, I'm gonna ask you both a question. What does a God-centered relationship look like to you?
Hmm.
And why would you marry her if you it sounds like you didn't really value her? Because I couldn't
Mervin,
imagine like sending my wife out to.
I did, but you don't understand. The money
So what
pollutes the
happened from
mind.
I did to okay, but fair in all fairness, right?
Hmm.
It sounded like we went from A to B because it went from you valuing her to where she was at to like
Hmm.
experiences. So if it went from you like in love with this girl, because it sounds like she just wants your approval. At any point instead, you could have been like, "Nah, we ain't gonna do that," and she would have been cool. So what happened is the question,
I
and that's
wasn't
not
giving her
on just you.
attention. I
It's not
wasn't
just
giving her
you.
attention.
It's
I
the
wasn't giving
attention.
her attention.
It's the
Yeah.
attention. It's
Like,
the
if I would have
attention.
just
So
said,
what?
hey, babe, like, you look beautiful right now. I wouldn't do that. I was on my phone, or hey, I'll be back tomorrow, or I was making moves, and but here's the money for this, and here's y'all need food. I'll order food here. Okay, I'm out. Like, she just wanted me to sit down next to her and eat a plate of food, or take her out and give her, you know what I'm saying, a nice dinner, a
Can I
bottle of
ask you
wine.
a question?
Hmm.
In
Hmm.
between her wanting a plate of food ate next to her, what were you doing? What are you like literally down to
Hmm.
the A B C D E F G? What were
Hmm.
you literally doing? Like, why couldn't you like in the midst? And there's no
Hmm.
wrong answer. You didn't do anything wrong because it happened. But like,
But I put myself in there. I
you sh-
owned I owned with two other people. We owned webcam studios, and they were operating
okay,
24 hours. So we had three houses, and each house had like five bedrooms. We put the bedrooms with lights and all that, and they would webcam. You see what I'm saying? And then we would take a percentage from them. It was a 60-40. We would get 60, they'd get 40. You know what I'm saying? We'd
Okay.
put the
Was
the,
the
the
wife involved in this, or it was something separate from her and
it
it
was
just took your
separate from
attention
her,
on?
and I'm gonna keep it real. I never construed business with pleasure. Like the girls did what they had to do.
Okay, fair.
They did their thing, but I would go out
You were
on.
trying to take care of your family.
Yeah, but it kind of came with it. Listen, it's like I put my foot in my own butt. I didn't need to like this. That creates lust, and it creates. It's money 24 hours. The webcam studio never closed because in Colombia or like anywhere in the world, when it's dark here, it's daytime in Europe. So Europeans are
Somewhere
gonna be.
else.
Yeah, so they're watching it. The money's coming in. We're transferring. I had investments in gold. I had investments in pearls. In Colombia, pearls are very cheap. It's illegal to bring them to the U.S., but
Yeah.
we would bring them through watches. We'd send them inside of a watch, and we'd send them to the U.S. They'd break it down. There was a lot of shit going on, and then there's something there that's called like the authority. Let's put it that way. And for example, if you and your husband got into a fight at the house, you weren't allowed to call the police. So if you called the police and the
Okay.
police came, we would go there and we'd fine you because it would stop the operation. Now
Okay.
so it's complicated.
Is
It's
this,
a
are you also Colombian, or is
no.
she
I'm
just
Puerto
is
Rican.
she just Colombian?
She's Colombian, but I'm Puerto Rican. But I
So did
had
you have any like understanding of like the land, or it was all through her?
no. It was me through music artists in from Puerto Rico that we were able
So you
to
were
contact.
international. So you were actually over there.
Yeah, but I have dual citizenship, so I'm legal. You know, if police, I'm good. I'm
Oh,
good to
understand.
be. Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
So
Since we
this was an international front. So not,
yes.
this is not like an American
Mm-mm.
traditional relationship. This is
No.
you international in a different country.
Mm-hmm. 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 It's very
Okay.
complicated.
So I would say that that's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Not to give you an excuse, but it is different
But look,
because
I'm
like
not
your
saying I'm
environment
jealous.
does matter.
I'm not saying I'm jealous, but I see like you and your husband, Merv, you know what I'm saying? And I say, wow, how beautiful. Look, y'all are on a vacation right now. And I would do that, but look how he's like, hey babe, this I wouldn't say that. I would just be like, hey, I'm leaving. Like it's it, I guess
But
only
why
I
would you say
understand
that?
this.
Because
Like
your
no,
environment
I
doesn't
just didn't
allow you to say
care.
that.
No, I just didn't care. Like I don't know. It's weird, man.
And
I
that
don't
that's
even
what
know.
that was gonna be my question for you to Swift. Like so why what made you get married? Let me start there. What made you get
Bro, I
married?
guess to
And
be real,
I'm gonna give you mine. Go ahead.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna let
be
you answer.
real
Go ahead.
with you. I think I was like, man, I'm 32 years old. What am I doing? I was like, let me just marry. And I remember this. My dad was like, you didn't give me no like bring me a grandchild or whatever. So I was like, let me just marry some. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real. She was obsessed with me, brother. Like I was at a spot, and a friend of hers came up to me
What
and was
means
like, hey,
success?
obsessed. Like I never spit any game. I was at a spot. Her friend came up to me and was like, "Hey, my friend wants to meet you." I was like, "Okay, tell her to come here." We met. Then we kept dating, and then it proceeded. But I always, she was. In other words, I could put it like this to give context. Like she was the official. She was the one that had access to my accounts, had access to, but I had 6, 7 other girlfriends. I would be here on
Mhm.
Tuesday.
Did she know that?
She knew it absolutely. Hmm.
So would you consider that a God centered relationship? Because
No,
when you
brother,
say
that's what I'm
like, okay, how
saying. I
Marvin
wasn't fulfilled. That's why I'm telling people. Like you see these rappers and they're flexing on all that. It does
Come
not
on
give
now. Come on. You
satisfaction.
speaking of
It does
word.
not. It does not give satisfaction, Mervin. I still felt
Yo,
empty.
you speaking of
I
word.
I still felt empty and by myself at the end of the day. I swear to God that I would go to sleep and be like, you know what? I'm not happy. Like I got money, I got girls, I got this, and I'm still not happy. So all that you hear these
and
rappers talking about, bro, that's not a flex, bro. That's not a flex. I swear to God that is not a flex, bro.
and I'm gonna
You
let
go.
CEO chime in, but I'm gonna say something too Swift when you're done. I'm gonna make a point. Go ahead though.
I entered even into depression, Mervin. I said, what's gonna please me, bro? Like if this is what people talk rap talk, flex on. I got all of this. I got everything I ever wanted in the world. Okay? And
And
I
I don't want to
still
cut you
wasn't
off,
happy.
but I
I still wasn't happy.
yes.
It was
Yes, I
weird,
want
bro.
women to understand that we are so much more accountable in our actions because like men will be going through these phases at any point in time. Women, you can stop. You don't have to give that man attention when he's going through this because God may be calling like a man to go through this phase. He may need to go through that phase, and loneliness would have answered his question, right? But there was a woman there and she answered it. And not only that, her body was on body was on T, all that stuff like that, right? Body
Can
was
you on
perfection, her lifestyle sections like and all that. But when you go through these scenarios and you don't let a person go through the lesson that God's teaching them, you shortcut God. And you know who's gonna have the last like hurdle of like a burden is the woman. Stop. Let men go through what they're going through, women. Stop. Pull yourselves back. You are not his mother. You are not the person to get him through the next step. Stop, women. Be in your feminine energy. I don't know what it is about women where, and I'm saying this is a woman who's been guilty of this. Stop doing this. And I think what the issue is that feminine energy is that, like, in our essence, we don't have any accountability. When someone's a princess, there's not no, the princess is the princess. There's no princess and the judgment that comes with it. But however, the boy has the male, the manhood, the masculinity. There is accountability that comes with that. Femininity, we need to find the balance that comes with like accountability because we keep showing up to save these men when they're going through plights and judgment that they need to see through. Let this man see through what he's going through because you're going to weather a storm that was not meant for you. Breathe. Let this man going through what he's going through because, like, when he goes through it, he's going to understand at the end of that you're still not enough. You're not enough. You were not enough to fulfill him through what he was going through. That essence of
Mm-mm.
void, that void that he's going through. Your vagina, your beauty, your dedication, all your I don't give a fuck if it was 10 years of putting in the work in the gym, your high school diploma, your bachelor's, your master's degree, none of that is going to it's not going to be enough for that man.
No.
Breathe. Let that man go through. Let him be a man. Let the man be a man. And women
But I
don't want to
went through
do that. We want to
tribulation.
keep
I
showing up
went
and
through
saving the man.
tribulation. I
And you
swear
know
to
what?
you,
That's fair. That's fair. The woman needs to
Mervin
still let
showed
the
me
man
something.
be a man.
Mervin showed me
But what
something.
I think the bigger point in this is that, like, yes, and what you're saying, your male, your counterpoint could have showed you something. Women, breathe on letting men be men. Let men go through whatever trials and tribulation that they're going through. I think that's what I'm getting through to women is that we keep trying to show up and we want to save men. We want to like fuck men to the point. We want to show up for men. We want to, and what we're doing essentially is trying to beat God to the pun. God wanted you to go through whatever void that you're going to because you needed to come to the end result of understanding what you understand right now.
Hmm.
But there
Hmm.
was a woman who thought she was going to show up and her beauty, that woman's for a while there, right? That woman's money, the $5,000 or this or that. It was it was like getting a scapegoat and it was like sitting there and it was helping her to sit there and say, you know what? This is going to help him. This is going to help him. You needed to learn your lesson. And that woman thought that her meeting a man and getting that extra $5,000, that $10,000 or whatever. And you know what it does? It cheapskates a woman. And she thinks that she's going to help you and she's going to bring you closer to an end result that you're not going to meet through her. Because at the end of the day, you are the person who needs to learn the lesson. A woman is not going to meet you there and learn that lesson for you. She's not going to help you learn that lesson. None of those things. So I want women to understand that, like, let the man go through what he needs to go through. You're not helping him, babe. Like, stand a point, be in your feminine energy, and stand back. Stand away from what he needs to learn by himself. You're not gonna fuck that man. You're not gonna help him get to
Mm-mm.
no money. You're
Mm-mm.
not gonna help
Mm-mm.
them get to no end result. Let him go through whatever he's going through. When the moment that a man starts saying that, hey, I'm going through this, I feel this way, da da da. I know a woman wants to help that or whatever, but in a grown, if it ain't her son, she can't help that. A man needs to go through that on his own. God was, and I say this or whatever, when God was by himself, he was talking with Adam by himself. Eve had, like, Adam had to be in his full, in his essence before Eve was created. We were created, women were created from a rib when a man was fully formed. And I need women to understand that there's nothing that you're going to do to help a man come to his essence, come to
No.
his full,
No.
come to his
No.
like masculinity.
It's crazy that she says that too, Swift. You remember yesterday conversation about why God was more harder than on Adam and not
Yeah.
Eve, even though the serpent tempted Eve. So that's a
Yes,
good point that
sir.
she just brought up.
She's a cheapskate. You just a
So,
cheapskate.
guys, this is
See,
a
but
great
but
conversation. We a little
but
bit over an
Mervin,
hour. So,
you
Swift,
you
go ahead.
you helped me with something that I didn't know, and it was when the what I needed to go through had to happen to bring me closer to God, because I thought that I was that I had it all, that I didn't need anything else. I have it all. I feel, and I was not. Let me make that very clear. I
Mm,
was not. And my wife, I'll never forget this. I caught her one day. I was leaving, and she started hitting herself in the face, and she was like, "Am I not good enough?" And I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, it became a big ordeal, and hitting herself, and I was like, "What?" Like, it stalled what I was needing to do because I needed to leave. I had to do something, and she started hitting herself, and it just went down a rabbit hole, and it was like I would come home and be like, "Am I like what am I doing?" It took a while because at first I would be like, "Oh
yeah.
fuck that!" Like she's crying, let her cry. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? But
And
bro,
I ain't gonna lie, like, no, go ahead. Sorry. Go
like
ahead.
bad shit would happen to me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got stabbed in an altercation, and then who was the only one there to put alcohol,
Her.
band-aids? It was her. You know what I'm saying? And I was walking, you know what I'm saying? They fucked me up, bro. I had to walk like 3.5 miles. You know what I'm saying? They got me like in my thigh, and then I ran like she was the only one
Damn.
helping. It was weird, bro. Like it was, and then that's when I was like, you know what? I gotta go back home, bro. Like I'm doing too much. Like it got crazy. It got crazy. But I look back and I said, this was the only way, Mervin, the only way I would have gotten closer to God. I would never have picked up the
And I
Bible.
agree with you, bro.
I would have never
God
picked up the
put you through
Bible.
things to get closer to Him. Yeah, I do believe that. And
I would have never
even
picked
with
up the
me,
Bible.
mm, no, I
Cause
can testify to that because a lot of times the reason why I am the person that I became today is because of the darkness I used to be in. And one thing I do glad God blessed me with is intellect. Like every time I ever been in a situation, I never played the was a test. I may never understand the test, but I knew it was always a test. You know what I mean? Coming from Jamaica to America, my dating, being single, I'll see my dad in marriages. My dad's been married for over 25 years. I always known I was family orientated. So when I used to be by myself,
I think I lost my card.
isn't that
one
crazy though,
second.
Merv? Like, is it? This is
Yeah.
serious stuff. And I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm gonna be honest. It's actually very satisfying being able to like express this. Believe it or not.
Mm, yeah.
I
'Cause
really
even how
don't.
I got to where I got to is the being by myself to where like when then temptation comes around, I'll be like, oh hell no. God didn't brought me through because it's like what CEO of Social said, right? Like when you try to do it yourself,
Oh,
and
espérate.
it also taught me to be more directly. I used to be lonely and very needy, right?
Mhm.
I used to think that, and I was just lusting. I ain't gonna lie, I just wanted somebody to fuck, and that should turn my life hell. I literally could be in prison right now on some kidnapping charges because a female that used to be in an abusive relationship. I'll start dating her. We could be arguing over a spoon. She took it to 10. I wasn't used to that. And then it's the, oh, he put his hands on me, and she was from the different race, and I was literally, bro, facing kidnapping charges, abusive charges, and the only reason why I didn't get convicted was because she didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? To court. She knew she was lying. And it was just like a lot of men in prison right now over a lie. But I've been delivered from so much that certain things I wouldn't even dare play with. That's why, like, when it comes to marriage, like, some things you're not supposed to play with, because I'm terrified of the wrath of God. But it's like you said though, God put us through a lot of stuff to get us closer to Him.
A
You
lot
know what
of
I mean? I do
tribulation,
believe
bro.
that.
I
Like,
went through a lot of
hmm
tribulation, Mervin, to for me to get to the point of me saying, "What am I doing?" Because I thought I had it all figured out. I said, "What more could
mm,
I want?" And it reminded me when I read the verse of the Bible that said, "You will be rich and say, 'What do I need? I have it all.' But you will still be naked and
mm.
empty." And bro, I was not fulfilled. And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care about beauty. I don't care about this. I had so many women, Mervin. I did so much, and I'm not uh, uh, gloating about it. I don't want and like I felt like I had bad energy in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving my body to a bunch of women and giving my energy to them giving it to me. It's weird, bro.
Yeah, and I do believe when we do stuff like that, you can also take on someone's generational curse, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
even
I
the Bible
didn't
say you're
think
not
that.
supposed to be quick to save other people. Some people are going through, they're in the desert because God want them there. They're down because that's where God want them, so they can lean on Him to know that, you know what I mean, they didn't do it by themselves. We see examples throughout the Bible, a lot of times with that. But hey man, this was a great conversation. You know what I mean? We're a little bit over an hour.
Yeah,
We definitely gonna pick up back tomorrow and get more into
perfect.
detail with this. And Swift, thank you for, you know what I mean, you got personal, you shared
Hmm.
a lot of stuff, man. I feel like
Yeah,
this is
man.
very
And
important
it
because
felt good.
one
I
thing I
held that
learned
in.
too,
I held that in. Nobody
yeah,
knows that. Nobody knows those things.
yeah.
I've
And
kept
you,
that
like I said, this
within
is
me.
a safe space. What's
Uh-huh.
crazy though, bro? A
Hmm.
lot of us, especially as men, we go through we suffer in silence. And society
Hmm.
normalize men suffering in silence. And a lot of people just living life reacting. You know what I mean? Like, they're just reacting to whatever been happened to them in the past. They're not talking about it. They think it's soft if they cry, if they ask for help, and all that. All that's not right. You know what I mean? So, like, I
It's
did a
not, Merv.
gathering
But
on
my
Father's
biggest
Day with a
thing,
bunch
I
of
think my
men,
biggest thing
and
to tell the youth, I want kids to hear this, especially like young men. It's not cool to
mhm,
have a bunch of hoes and shit like that, bro. It's not. It's
not at
actually
all,
scary, bro,
not
to
at
know
all.
that you gotta get tested. You might have STDs. You might be like all the shit you're hearing, and that uh, uh, I got like this. I'm getting like that's not a flex, bro. Respect women's temple. Like, oh, I'm sitting there and the bitch, give me head, give me this. Don't do like that's not cool, and I did not get
Yeah,
fulfillment from that. I want to make that
me
very,
either,
very
brother.
clear. That does not
Me
give you
either, brother.
fulfillment.
I was lost, and
I was
you know what I mean, I
lost.
was taking on all sorts of entities I didn't even know about. And
Hmm.
yeah, I totally agree with that, man. I
Hmm.
totally agree.
It's not a
And
flex.
this was great, Cliff. It's not a
Hmm.
flex at all. Anything you got to say before we close?
No, that's it. I appreciate you guys for even hearing me. Thank you. God bless
Oh man,
you.
of course.
And
Yeah,
have a great vacation. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll get back tomorrow.
okay, thank you, brother. God bless you.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.
All right. Yes.